There's one other big problem with the 2J that I accidentally neglected to mention in my previous video. That is that you can't just play one match in the 2J. There's no such thing as just one game. There's always one more, and then one more, and then another, and before you know it, you've lost about 500,000 credits in ammo, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning. So, once again, in the 2J with Deadmon, he's in the T2 Light again, and we've ended up on mines, which is a bit of an odd map for the 2J, but it's workable. Of course, I can't go hill. I'm used to going up there, but I can't do it, I just don't have the speed. I'm going to have to engage tanks around the bottom of it. Deadmon, however, has plenty of speed and races up there before anyone else can. It doesn't work out for him. He's unsupported, none of us is caught up, and he is almost certainly doomed. On the plus side, him going up there has caused the enemy to send several tanks of their own up the hill, and basically he's acted as bait for my hook. You can see the cruiser off to my left doing some work on these guys already. Incidentally, the enemy also have a couple of cruisers. The cruiser is, or just the cruiser family in general, they're some of the few tanks at this tier that can actually reliably pen the 2J frontally. The problem is that puppies are idiots. Well, their problem is that they're idiots and don't know how to aim. So this guy, for instance, should have been able to kill me. Instead, he doesn't even pen me. I roll up from behind the rock and begin putting some hurt on the BT7. I can safely ignore the T127 behind me, at least until he figures out how to shoot gold. I burn out the T2. The fire does go out, but he's now on 9 hit points, and a single burst finishes him off. The T18's next. And now it's just the T46 and T127 up here that need to be dealt with. The 127 is relatively well armoured for a low tier light tank, but it's not well enough armoured to withstand carefully aimed PzII from this guy. You will bounce more shots off of this than you will off other tanks at this tier, but as long as you aim carefully for his hull, particularly his lower plate, you shouldn't have too much trouble. Whereas his 45mm gun, while it is capable of penning you, will have a lot of trouble. And more often than not, he will need to go to gold to get a shot through you. So I've dealt 730 damage already, taken out 5 tanks. That's a pretty good result, but I'm not happy with that result. I would like to get some more damage in. Unfortunately for me, my driving skills are somewhat lacking, and I neglect to check what's on the other side of this bush before I parachute down the hill. Yep, I'm stuck. Not the smartest choice I've made. Thankfully, I've landed at enough of an angle that I can kind of wiggle my way out. It's just going to take a while. Happy days though, I have just enough gun elevation to attack the T57 from my precarious perch. Although being a T57, I'm going to have trouble pinning him at this range. At this point I realise just how much this is costing me, and so I decide to leave him alone and go back to trying to free myself. Just a little bit more wriggling and I should be free of this. And there we go. Just a touch more. And I'm out. Always pay attention to what's at the bottom of a cliff before you jump off of it. There's still a couple of enemy tanks left, mostly camped out in the back, which is good for me because it means a little bit more damage before the game's through. Another cruiser. This guy should have been able to kill me, but he just waited until I had a perfect angle on him, and I was able to take him out. He should have shot at me while I was stuck on the hill, or moving towards him, before he was actually spotted by me. But he didn't. His loss. And down goes the T-60. Looks like he was using the... I want to say he was using the Dushka on that. I'm not sure. It might have been the 20mm. The enemy BT-7 already made a last-minute desperate dash for our cap. Didn't work out for him. And so the last tank to go down, the T-57, is what nets us the win, with me sitting at just over 1,000 damage once again. This was the last PzII game from this session, so the next replay will be something else, but it really is just too fun of a tank to play once and leave. You do have to play a couple matches at least in it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. As ever, watch where you're going, and I'll see you on the next video.